All right, my friends, welcome to the show. There is a piece in Oprah magazine, O. It's in the Oprah magazine. It's got Michelle Obama and Oprah on the cover. And there's an article in the issue. It's the April 2009 issue. So I guess it's last month, I presume. But I just saw it. I'm behind in my O reading. All right. Sorry, guys. She's so fine. That's the title of the article. Cynthia Nixon did it. Lindsay Lohan's doing it. TV shows are based on it. Is it our imaginations or our wives and girlfriends ditching their men and falling in love with other women? New science says that sexuality is more fluid than we thought. New science. See, if it just hits O magazine, then it's new science. I have been talking about human sexual fluidity, the fluidity of human sexuality, for the last 15 years since I wrote my $10,000 first prize award-winning piece, Judaism, Homosexuality, and Civilization, which took me 6 months. That's all I did for 6 months was research that. And that is how I came to understand a basic phenomenon which the left, gay, straight left, denied, and that is that human sexuality is not fixed. We are told that what you are is what you are. There is nothing that could be done about it. And by the way, that is true for some people. There are some true homosexuals for whom the opposite sex holds absolutely no appeal. There are especially among men, there are male homosexuals who are as little attracted to women as would find a beautiful naked woman as enticing as a beautiful car or tree. I understand that. But with women, it's far more complex. Women want companionship, want to hold, want to be held, want tenderness, want to snuggle next to a body, often, not always, but often more than they want a man, specifically, or a man sexually, certainly. And so how do you explain these women who have been perfectly okay with men in the sexual arena, and now they are opting for women? Well, says O Magazine, new science says that sexuality is more fluid than we thought. New science. Freud said that in the beginning of the 20th century. He called it polymorphous perverse. But I don't suspect that the average O reader got to that part of Freud's collected works. So I certainly excuse them. That is why if marriage becomes redefined, what you will have is a lot more, especially women, getting involved with women, whereas in a society that defined marriage as male-female, they would have probably bonded with a male. But if society announces there is no difference, which is what the left in its infinite lack of wisdom has announced, it makes no difference what gender you marry. The gender of a human being is as irrelevant as their hair color, and perhaps even less relevant. Then once that is announced, people will in fact opt elsewhere. They will opt for the same sex, especially women, and so you will have a lot more girls thinking in terms of, gee, will it be a boy or a girl that I marry? And for proof, I have O Magazine. See, this is all part of what I have devoted a good part of my life to trying to understand, and that is the left. The only way you can understand almost anybody is to believe that they are coming with good intentions. That is the reason that the left never understands the right, because they do not believe that about people on the right. Therefore, they have a total incapacity of understanding those with whom they differ, and that's why it is so easy to debate them and to win that debate. We understand them. They don't understand us. We know that a lot of them come from a good place. Absolutely. So then why do people adopt left-wing ideas if they are 90% of the time simply wrong, because they live in a world of a wishful universe. They wish reality to be a certain way, and therefore it is. I wish reality were that people all got along. Therefore, since I wish that everybody gets along, I will do everything possible not to fight. Right? It's a perfect example. And the further left you go, the more antipathy you have to any military solution until you reach that bumper sticker, which is a colossal denial of reality. That's what the left is. It's a denial of reality. War is not the answer. War is not the answer is a denial of reality, when reality, in fact, says that on fair number of occasions, war is, in fact, the moral answer, is the only answer, in fact. Against really bad people, that's what happens. But they deny that there are really bad people. What they think is there are really bad conditions. They don't want to face the fact that there really are really bad people. This is what has become clearer and clearer to me over the years, that the left constructs a reality bubble. Then they enact policies based on the bubble that they have created. And that is what happens. And so here is an example. Oh, there's no difference between men and women. Sexuality is fixed, so let's have a redefinition of marriage. And now all of a sudden, the popular culture is awakening to the fact that, well, if in fact society says that there's no difference between whether you marry a man or marry a woman, a lot more women may in fact marry women. 1-8-PRAGER-776. Take our president. Our president lived in a left-wing bubble. He was a professor. He literally lived in the intellectual bubble that the university campuses are, to the extent that he was restricted to the university campus. But even when not, he was on the left. So they make up a reality. The reality, we'll close Gitmo. That was it there. Oh, it's not nice to have Guantanamo Bay. It's not nice. It gives America a black eye. I never understood how it gave America a black eye. But that was their view. But I don't understand a lot of what they construct on the left. So now he's understanding, well, wait a minute, we're in trouble. Nobody wants these people. And the Democrats, they're really, there's real shame on the Democrats, although there's nothing that can shame the Democratic Party. Nothing. They're beyond shame. And so honorable people would be shamed by the fact that they call for the closing of Guantanamo, but then the Democratic governors and Democratic senators of states that would be asked to have Guantanamo prisoners released to their custody are refusing. Not in my backyard. So I want you to close Guantanamo. Will I take any of those prisoners? Of course not. I'm a Democrat. Why would I have to live with the consequences of what I have, in fact, endorsed? So it's part of the fantasy world which the left creates. The president says that he can win his way out of the deficit by spending more money than the American government has ever spent. But now the president announces, and I read to you from Bloomberg.com, President Barack Obama calling current deficit spending unsustainable, his own spending. He's calling his own spending unsustainable. Warned of skyrocketing interest rates for consumers if the U.S. continues to finance government by borrowing from other countries. Well, where are we going to borrow from? The banks are not going to loan the government. The banks are going to, if they do, they'll be loaning the government money. Which means that the government has printed the money by which the banks will pay the government. But if you print money, interest rates go up because money is worth less. It's pretty simple. Even a non-economist could figure that out. I'll have more of the bubble constructed by our dear fellow citizens of the left and take your calls, 1-8-PRAGER-776.